students, welcome once again to the Owl Academy of Education. Today we are going to start ICSE class 8 bio. Chapter is 2, that is reproduction in plants. Chapter 1 has already been explained in our earlier video. Now we are going to start here with the second lesson, that is reproduction in plants. So reproduction, what is the definition of reproduction? Reproduction, as you know, is producing new organisms of their own kind. Producing new organisms of their own kind is called reproduction, right? And it is the one of the most important characteristics of all living beings. It multiplies the number of individuals of a population and ensures the continuity of life. So which life process ensures the continuity of life? That is reproduction, right? So here we have learned three things. Reproduction is producing new organisms of their own kind. Number second, it is one of the most important characteristics of all living beings. Number third is it multiplies the number of individuals of a population and ensures continuity of life. So how this reproduction happens? There are different modes of reproduction. They may be asexual, second sexual, and in addition some plants also multiplies by vegetative propagation. Some plants also reproduce by vegetative propagation. Here in this chart, modes of reproduction in plants have been given. First is asexual reproduction. Its modes are budding, fission, fragmentation, and spore formation, right? Second is vegetative propagation. Its modes are of two types. You can divide it into A and B. In A, you can keep natural methods of vegetative propagation. They may be by roots, it may be by stems, or it may be by adventitious buds on the leaves. And in artificial method of vegetative propagation, it may be by stem cutting, by layering, by grafting, and by tissue culture. And the third method is the sexual reproduction. So now we will do these in detail. So let us move on the next page. On the next page, in the table 2.1 in your book, differences between asexual and sexual reproduction have been given. So what is asexual reproduction? In the asexual reproduction, daughter cells are produced from a single parent. This is the key point. Daughter cells are produced from a single parent. In the sexual reproduction, you require two parents of opposite sex. That is, one may be male and the other may be female, right? Male and female, these are biological symbols for male and female, are needed in sexual reproduction, right? This is the main point. Here single parent, here two parents, one of them male and the other female, right? Now number second, sex cells or male and female gametes are not formed. Here it is very important, male and female gametes are not formed. Here two types of sex cells, that is male and female gametes, that is male are sperm and female are ova. They both are formed. Third, zygote is not formed. Zygote, we will learn about zygote in the next. Zygote is not formed, male and female gametes fuse to form a zygote, right? Why zygote here is not formed? Because there is a single parent only, right? Here zygote is formed because male and female gametes fuse to form a zygote. New individuals, number 4th is new individuals are identical to each other. They are similar to each other and to their parent and are called clone. Here definition of clone, right? Here is definition of clone. So new individuals are identical with what are clones? Identical individuals which are identical to each other and to their parent and are called clone, right? In the sexual reproduction, new individuals share characters of both the parents. They are called offsprings. So here is definition of offspring. Here is the definition of offspring. So new individuals in the sexual reproduction share characters of both the parents and hence they are called offspring. No two offsprings are identical except identical twins. Here identical individuals would be called twins. So what is the difference between a clone and twin? Clone are formed from the sexual reproduction and twins are formed from the sexual reproduction, right students? So next we will move. Now we will do these things in detail, right? Next topic in your book is the asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? The mode of reproduction in which a single, as we have learnt on the previous page, the mode of reproduction in which a single organism, remember it, a single organism divides and produces two or more individuals is called asexual reproduction. There is neither formation nor union of gametes because no fertilization, as there are no male and female gametes are absent here, right? Only single parent is present, so there is no fertilization. The individuals are generally identical to the parent. This is another characteristics, identical to the parent and also to each other, as we have read earlier. These genetically identical individuals are called clone, right? Here now types of asexual reproduction. It is these are the types of sexual reproduction. These are binary fission, budding, fragmentation and spore formation or sporulation. Spore formation is called sporulation. So first we will study about binary fission. So here is the diagram of binary fission. In this binary fission it has been shown that in binary fission an individual divides into two identical daughter cells, right? So this is the single, this growth in size, here division starts and two daughter cells are division in two daughter cells, cell number 1 and cell number 2 are formed. In this process first nucleus, so this is the nucleus divided into two followed by division of cell. Here nucleus, this was the single nucleus, now it has turned down into two parts. So from these two parts arises two daughter cells, right? First process is division of nucleus into two followed by division of cell forming two identical daughter cells. These are two identical daughter cells. Binary fission is common in bacteria. These are the examples of the organisms for doing asexual reproduction: bacteria, unicellular algae, and fungi, or fungi you can call it also. So next we will move on to the next page. The next is budding. So first we have read binary fission. Now budding. What is budding? In budding, a daughter individual arises on the parent organism as a small bud like it is looking from here. It is budding because a bud like outgrowth is formed here. This bud grows, detaches from the parent cell and forms a new individual, right? So this is the parent cell. Here it is the diagram. Budding in the it has been budding in yeast has been shown here. So the parent cell of the yeast divides into two buds and new cells are formed, right? This is the bud formed here. From this bud divides into new chains of new cells. So budding is found in yeast. Here newly formed daughter cells do not separate from the parent cell and form long chains of cells, right? Now you can do the activity 1 to observe budding in yeast. So here the materials required for this activity are yeast powder, sugar, beaker, water, glass, slide, microscope, right? So procedure method is: take some yeast powder from a bakery or a chemist shop, place pinch of yeast powder in 100 ml beaker having some lukewarm water, right? Add a spoonful of sugar and shake it well to dissolve the sugar, and keep it for an hour, half an hour or so, more than half an hour or an hour. Put a drop of this liquid on a glass slide and observe it under a microscope. So you will see the line diagram in the line diagram is here. Like this diagram you will see in the microscope, under a microscope. So here formation like this, formation of new cells like these will be seen, right? Now we will move on to the next, number third, that is fragmentation. Here fragmentation has been written. So it is the third method of asexual reproduction. So fragmentation is commonly found in the green algae like Spirogyra. It's the example of fragmentation. So their filaments may break into 2 or more fragments, and each fragment grows into a new individual. It is also seen in bryophytes, mosses, and liverworts. You keep this example also in mind. So here Spirogyra is seen. So this is Spirogyra. It break into 2 or more fragments. So these are fragments. First fragment, then this is second fragment, right? So this is the fragmentation because it divides, the body of Spirogyra divides into 2 fragments and divide, right? So next method is spore formation. Spores, what are spores? Spores are tiny thick walled resistant asexual reproductive bodies like this. These are spores. Here shown spores. These are dots are spores, right? They are produced under unfavorable conditions. This is main. Unfavorable conditions are required to produce spores. Not favorable condition. These are unfavorable conditions. They develop into a structure called sporangium. They develop into a structure called sporangium. Plural is sporangia, right? This is the sporangium or sporangia, right? More than one sporangium will become sporangia. Mature spore, this is also sporangium. Mature spores are released by rupture of sporangia. These will they will rupture and these spores will be released from them. When they become mature, their wall will rupture and mature spores will emerge out like this, right? They keep floating in the air and are carried away. They keep floating in the air and carried away from one place to other. On getting suitable conditions, each spore develop into a new plant. This spore formation occurs in fungi, or you can say bread mold. On a bread, you can see bread molds are formed. They are due to this. They are mosses and ferns, right? So for this we will next see activity, that is activity number 2 in your book. That is, its aim is to study spores of bread mold under a microscope. For this, material required are bread slice having mold, microscope, forceps, glass and glass slide. So what is this procedure? Procedure is so simple. Collect a slice of bread having bread mold, rhizopus. Keep the bread for some times, for few days. In a day or two, it become day. In a 3-4 days, it become black. And then take a clean slide and put some blackish threads like this. These blackish threads on it with the help of forceps. Observe under the microscope. What you will see? These spores, spore sac or sporangium, sporangiophore, right? These are formed here, right? So here checkpoint number 1. What you will see here, we have done in binary fission dash daughter cells are formed. How many daughter cells are formed? 2. They are identical. So here we will write identical daughter cells are formed. Genetically identical individuals are called genetically identical individuals. I have told you earlier, these are called clones. Clone. Spirogyra reproduces asexually by Spirogyra divides by which method? I have told you earlier. So fragmentation. Now spores are formed during favorable or unfavorable conditions? Unfavorable. So we will write here unfavorable conditions. Unfavorable conditions. So this was our checkpoint 1. Now we will move on to the next type of sexual reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. So this vegetative propagation occurs in plants only. It's very important, keep it in mind. So in this method new plants are produced from the vegetative parts. Which are vegetative parts? These are roots, stems, leaves and buds. So new plants are formed from the vegetative parts. Vegetative parts are roots, stems, leaves and buds, right? Here the plants obtained by vegetative propagation from one plant are exact copies, that means clones of each other of the parent plant. Keep it in mind. So in various examples of the vegetative propagation are banana, garlic, mint में grapes, rose, potato, sugarcane and many other plants are grown by vegetative propagation, right? A diagram of vegetative propagation by tuber formation will come next. We will study there. Now natural methods of vegetative propagation are: vegetative propagation in plants is very common in nature. It occurs during favorable. So it occurs during favorable conditions. Keep it in mind. Important. Right? So in the following ways: first is by modified roots. Modified roots like tuberous roots of dahlia, this here given, sweet potato, this is also given here, and asparagus becomes swollen due to stored food. Sweet potato we eat it, and this is it's a stored food. All this is the stored food. They remain underground. New plants grow from these roots in the next season. So this was the method of modified root method of vegetative propagation. Now by modified stems, the underground and subaerial stems are modified especially for vegetative propagation. So in this, first is tuber. For example, potato grows underground, so it is a stem tuber, not root. It is a stem tuber. Keep it in mind. It is swollen due to food stored in it. It has buds in the depressions called the eyes, right? So the little spots on the potatoes are its eyes. They are called eyes. These eyes are the nodes, and the buds in the eyes are axillary buds. Here is the definition of axillary buds. These buds give rise to new aerial shoots, right? So these buds give rise to new aerial shoots, right, students? So this was tuber. Now we will move on to next. Here an activity third is given. What is this activity? To observe the vegetative propagation in a potato. So here you requires only a potato and a pot filled with moist soil, right? Take potato and locate depressions eye on its surface. Cut a few pieces of the potato, each with an eye. Bury them in the moist soil in a pot. Keep the soil moist by adding water regularly for the next few days. After a few days, you will see the aerial shoots come out of the soil. This activity can be done at your home. Potatoes are available, so moist soil is available. You can do it. So each eye of the potato has a bud, and this bud will grow into new aerial shoot. So in the same way, ginger has also eyes and turmeric has also eyes, so you can also grow them. The next is formation of bulb. Like tuber, there is also a bulb. It is a very short disc shaped underground stem. For example, you have seen onion in your home. It bears fleshy scale leaves that store food. The fleshy scale leaves of onion, they bear disc-like stems. They are called disc-like stem. Also bears terminal and auxiliary buds. The auxiliary buds grow into new green area shoots that form the new plant. Right? So here it is an important thing is given. Potato is a stem tuber, keeping it in mind, whereas sweet potato, dahlia and asparagus are root tubers. Right? So keep it in mind. So students, if you do these things, do these chapters very carefully and keep them in mind, and you choose to appear in the NEET exam, there they will be most beneficial. Right? So study them carefully. Now we move on to the next activity. Here is given to observe vegetative propagation in onion. As we have seen in the potato, take healthy onion bulb, put it in the moist soil in a pot, sprinkle some water every day over soil to keep it moist. Watch over next 8 to 10 days. In the due course of time, the aerial shoots are seen. So what is the conclusion of this activity? Auxiliary buds protected by fleshy scale leaves grow into aerial shoots to form new plants. Right? So like tuber, like bulb, we also have rhizome. Right? So first we will see here the potato tuber is given. It has eyes like this. Right? From these eyes, aerial shoot has been grown. Like this is the onion. This has fresh scaly leaves. This is under this part is terminal bud, and below this is the disc root. So this whole structure is called bulb of onion. Here it is given. Right? So this is ginger. As you have seen, this ginger has nodes and scales. It has buds. This is bud, this is bud, this is bud, this is bud. These buds grow into new plant. Right? Corm of gladiolus has been given. So we will first do this here. So rhizome is a branched underground stem that swells up due to storage of food. So this rhizome swells up due to storage of food. It bears buds which grow into aerial shoots and form new plants. So it is found in ginger, turmeric, sugarcane, banana and bamboo. Right? So here corm of gladiolus is given. So this is corm. Corm is a swollen, flattened and rounded bulb with stored food. Each corm grows into new plant and develops a number of new corms. Example is gladiolus. Right? So these are all the methods of vegetative propagation by underground stems. Right? Next we will move on to the propagation by subaerial stems. So subaerial stems grow along the soil. So that's why they are called subaerial. So subaerial stems like this, these are subaerial stems. They grow along the soil. The roots and shoots arise from its nodes. So these are nodes, roots and shoots grows from the nodes. they and form new plants. Like in the grass, strawberry, oxalis, chrysanthemum and mint are grown by this method, right? Grass, strawberry, subaerial stems. Next we will move on to the next, that is activity number 5 is given here. To grow grass by vegetative propagation, material required are piece of lawn grass and a pot filled with moist soil. Take piece of lawn grass and put it in the pot, cover its node part with moist soil, leave it for 10 to 12 days, sprinkle water daily to keep it moist. Observation: after a few days, new shoots of grass are formed from the buds, grow from the buds on the nodes and covers the soil surface. So you see common lawn grass, doob, has long internodes called stolon, like so. Here this is the grass. Here these long nodes are called stolon, right? So stolon internodes are creeping on the surface of the soil. From each node, roots are given out. New shoots are given out from auxiliary buds at the nodes, right? So next method is by adventitious buds on the leaves. So this is the bryophyllum leaf. Here adventitious bryophyllum leaves has adventitious buds. From these buds new plants are formed. So this is called by adventitious buds on the leaves, right? So when such a leaf falls on the soil, its each bud grow into an independent plant. So next we will move on to the artificial vegetative propagation, right? So artificial vegetative propagation is carried out by stem cutting, layering, grafting and tissue culture. So we have earlier learned about natural method of vegetative propagation. They were by modified roots and by modified stems. In modified stems we have tuber, bulb, rhizome, corm and subaerial stems. Now we are doing artificial vegetative propagation by stem cutting, layering, grafting and tissue culture. So what is stem cutting? Cutting of a healthy young branch of plant having leaf buds is planted in the moist soil, and these cuttings develops roots and grow into a new plant. Example are chameli, bougainvillea, rose and sugar cane is also grown by stem cutting, right? Now we will move on to layering. So layering a young branch is bent like this to touch the ground. It is covered with moist soil forming a layer. Here a layer of moist soil is formed. When root develop from the covered part, from here roots develop like this. But the branch is cut off from the plant, it grows into a new plant. For example, jasmine, mint and vine. These are all grown by layering. Now next is grafting. Cutting with buds of one plant is called scion, like this, scion. Scion is kept over the cut stem of another plant like this and called the stalk. Scion and stalk are tied together. The stem of rooted plant, the scion and the stalk are then firmly tied together. The stalk should have an extensive root system under soil. After sometimes the tissues of the stalk and the scion join together to form one plant. The stalk supplies the essential nutrients to the scion. So here it is, one important question arises. So scion supplies the essential nutrients to the scion, right? So this method is used to grow new varieties of ornamental plants and fruit trees like rose, guava, lemon, orange, right? So here it keep one thing in mind. Grafting is a technique of combining the characteristics of two plants. For example, a high yielding variety may be grafted to a disease resistant variety to escape the plant from disease, to have characteristics of both plants, right? Like mangoes are developed by this method. The next method is tissue culture. It is also called micropropagation, right? In the micropropagation or tissue culture is the process of growing new plants by cell culture of the tissue culture technique. So what is this technique? Here this is the technique is given. In tissue culture technique, a small piece of tissue called explant is cut off from the growing tip of the plant. It is kept in a nutrient medium under the aseptic condition. Its cells divide rapidly to form a mass called callus. Here we will get definition of callus. This callus is transferred into another nutrient medium. This is first nutrient medium. This is another nutrient medium containing plant hormones or growth regulators, right? The cells of callus in this nutrient medium divide and differentiate into roots and shoots and form several new plantlets. These plantlets are grown in pots filled with soil. The examples are asparagus, chrysanthemum, orchids, etc. are grown by tissue culture technique. So students, this was the first part of second lesson, right? If you have understood it well, then please make more and more shares, likes and subscriptions. Thank you for watching the video. We will meet in the next video with the remaining portion of this chapter, right? Till then, study it, revise it. Thanks for watching the video. It's goodbye now.